Soldiers of Indian security forces martyred in a violent face-off at Galwan Valley at the line of actual control. Both sides suffer casualties. Senior military officials of India and China meeting at the venue to defuse the situation. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh briefs Prime Minister Narendra Modi about the situation at the LSE. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to hold video conference with chief ministers and administrators of states and union territories today and tomorrow. It would be Prime Minister's first such interaction with chief ministers after Unlock 1. Security forces gunned down 3 terrorists in an encounter in Turkwangan area of Shopian in Jammu and Kashmir. Kashmir Inspector General Police Vijay Kumar says the forces conducted the operation clean without any collateral damage. Recovery rate of COVID-19 patients in the country raises to 52.47%. 1,80,000 people have recovered from the virus so far. Number of active cases stays at 1,53,000. And the global tally of COVID-19 cases crosses the 80 lakh mark, total of 4,35,000 casualties reported across the globe. Global recovery rate stays around 47.8%. Good afternoon and welcome to this bulletin. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. During the de-escalation process underway in the Galwan Valley, a violent face-off took place yesterday night between the Indian and the Chinese sides, with both sides suffering casualties. The loss of lives on the Indian side includes an officer and 2 soldiers. Senior military officials of the 2 sides are currently meeting at the venue to defuse the situation. The de-escalation process in Galwan Valley at LSE is underway as we speak. As we mentioned, 1 officer and 2 Jawan, they were martyred from the Indian side during the violent face-off. While both sides suffer casualties, so we cannot confirm the numbers on the Chinese side as of now. Senior military officials of the 2 sides are meeting at the venue to defuse the situation as we speak. Also, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh reviewed the current operational situation in Eastern Ladakh along with the Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, and also the 3 service chiefs. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar was also present in the meeting. Sources inform Army Chief General M.M. Naravne visited to Pathankot military station has been cancelled for now. And Minister Rajnath Singh has briefed Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well about the situation at the LSE. And my colleague Amritpal Singh is joining us on phone line with more updates. Amrit, we've shared the latest updates with the viewers about the developments. The meeting of Defence Minister with the Service Chief, with Chief of Defence Staff as well, and Defence Minister briefing Prime Minister Narendra Modi. What is the latest that you can share with us?
Well, what we know is that the Raksha Mantri or the Defence Minister held this meeting with the CDS and the 3 service chiefs, and as you say, he briefed the Prime Minister. They took stock of the situation, judged whether it required a concerted response by the military, and the military is completely prepared. The 3 chiefs gave their assessment of the situation to the Defence Minister. As you know, that military meetings are presently going on at the point of standoff and trying to see how the situation can be diffused, because casualties on this side are not a small thing. It's happened after more than 40 years. So in that situation, the last we heard was that casualties happened was in 1975.
Right.
So this is being viewed very, very seriously. And though the Chinese are not confirming it, but there are reports that casualties have happened on the Chinese side as well. So the situation does not get out of hand. How the military deals with the situation That is why the defense minister took stock of the situation and briefed the prime minister. Of course, the diplomatic channels are also open, and the two sides are talking to each other. What the outcome of those talks would be, we should get to know later in the day or by the evening as to how. But I think the focus right now is to see that the situation does not get out of hand any further, and the de-escalation and the disengagement process goes on.
Amrit, also, what do we know about the nature of the violent face-off skirmish that took place at the LAC? We've informed our viewers about 3 soldiers who were martyred. Are there injured soldiers as well? What update is there on that?
What we know is that, we're waiting for the army to come out with the details. What the army has informed is what you've told 3 soldiers, which includes a colonel and 2 soldiers who were martyred in this incident that took place last night. It seems to be a stone pelting incident where weapons were not used. These are again, source-based information that's coming out. We're waiting for the army to officially come out with the information as to what really transpired. But what we are hearing is that that there was stone pelting from both sides, and in which a stone hit the commanding officer and the soldiers, in which this unfortunate deaths took place. Given the fact that there are casualties on the other side, so I assume that there was a standoff, a major standoff between the troops there. So the exact details of that are still to emerge.
Right, Amrit, you're right. The official version, official perspective also of the Chinese side is yet to emerge. But as you mentioned earlier, there is a certain posturing in Chinese media, if you look at it, in a way unilaterally blaming India for this incident. How do we see that in the present context?
Well, China has taken a very defined stand. The Reuters was quoting a foreign ministry spokesperson saying that India unilaterally took those steps and India should take steps to contain the situation. The Chinese media is also reporting about saying that it was the Indian soldiers who crossed over the line of actual control. Now, these could be based on perception, and this could also be posturing, because, as you know, the LAC is the perceptions of LAC vary. So, what may be perceived as crossing over may well be within the perception of the Indian troops that the LAC starts here. Now, what is worrisome is that after such an incident took place, even while military talks, the commander level talks were going on at the highest level, corps commanders have met, divisional commanders have met, sectoral commanders, brigade commanders, battalion commanders have been talking to each other, that yet such an incident takes place. Now, the Chinese media is obviously taking a very aggressive positioning of position right now. We'll have to wait and see the diplomatic parleys that are, the hectic parleys that are on right now behind the scenes, though the MEA hasn't put out any statement to that effect. But sources tell me that the two sides are talking to each other at various levels, both military and diplomatic. And the idea is to see that the situation gets diffused and the disengagement process, which was on, doesn't get affected and the situation doesn't spiral out of control from here on. But in all this, yes, the Chinese media is being very aggressive and blaming India for the latest fiasco.
All right, Amrit, do stay with us while we connect with Nandita Dagar, who's also joining us on the phone line. Nandita, for the benefit of our viewers, if you could help us understand the strategic importance of Galwan Valley, where this incident has taken place, and how do we position the present violent face-off between Indian and Chinese soldiers in the longer de-escalation talks that have been on?
Yes, I would like seek your permission to before I answer your question, to give a few reports that are coming in.
Go on, please.
Now,
Yes.
Yes. These are few reports which are unconfirmed. Now, we at DD News do not broadcast anything that is not confirmed or
Yes,
not
we don't,
verified.
yes.
And so what I know is that Some sources, as of now, the official martyrs that on our side, the army is saying is 3, but there are unconfirmed reports which are saying that the number of fatal casualties may rise. There are also a number of troops of ours which are missing in action, which is MIA, missing in action. Also, the Chinese mouthpiece for the international audience is called Global Times. It's a rag which generally tries to issue threats, is a bullying mechanism for the Chinese Communist Party. Its reporters are tweeting that, some of its reporters based elsewhere are tweeting that at least 4 to 8 Chinese PLA army, that is People's Liberation Army soldiers, have been killed in this this standoff or this skirmish or face-off, whatever words you may use for this. Now, whether a shot was fired or not, whether guns were used or not, rifles or personal assault weapons were used or not, the fact remains that we've lost 3 of our soldiers, and very fine soldiers. One of them being a commanding officer or a CO who leaves behind a 3-year-old daughter. So we cannot, of course, give the names because the families have not been notified till the army officially releases the names. We will not be able to give out the names. But the fact remains that we've lost soldiers, and this is a defining moment in Indo-Chinese relations, Sino-Indian relations, because nothing is ever going to be the same anymore. It's not going to be business as usual between India and China. Clearly, over the past month and over the past 3 months, when the Chinese virus or the Wuhan virus was unleashed upon the world, whether accidentally or whether by design, the calls for boycott of Chinese goods and shifting supply chains has...
Nandita, a little more on that, the location, the geographical location, the strategic importance of that. If you can come up with that. Yeah.
In the last bulletin, as I told you, Galwan is a valley which is strategically located in the northeast of Ladakh.
Yes.
It is adjoining the LAC in Aksai Chin. Also, it was an area which was never claimed by the Chinese. Not in 1956, not in 1959, not even after the 1962 war, the treaty that they had with us. Also, this valley, the heights of Galwan Valley, which the shoulders of these mountains look upon. There is a direct line of sight upon the Durbuk Shok Daulat Beg Oldi road. The Durbuk Shok Daulat Beg Oldi road is along the Shok River, and it is strategically important to us because it connects Durbuk to Daulat Beg Oldi. It is an important. The Daulat Beg Oldi is an airfield. It's an advanced landing ground where we have landed C-130J Hercules aircraft and AN-32s, IL-76, other heavy lift aircrafts, and we can easily transport men and materials, troops and logistics and ammunition and other materials to the forward bases whenever we want. And when the Chinese have a clear line of sight on that, the confluence of the Galwan and the Shok rivers is where our two ITBP camps lie. This is where at patrol point 14, 15, 17 Alpha, there were 3 patrol points where the Chinese and the Chinese and the Indian army troops were face to face, and we were mirroring their deployments, not just in scope but also in scale. We were seeing them eye to eye. The army was obviously trying to reassure the nation that this is not the India of 1962. Also, the Chinese were irked by the building of strategic roads and bridges in this sector, and that is why this is very, very important sector. It can cut off Karakoram from us if the Chinese start using artillery or targeting this area. They can block access to Karakoram and even the Siachen Glacier, because this is the only strategic road that we have, a lifeline that connects us to that.
Right. Nandita, stay with us. We turn again to Amritpal Singh, my colleague who's tracking the developments. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh a short while ago briefed Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the incident that has taken place in Galwan Valley. Amrit, coming to you now. Present in the meetings of the Defence Minister was also External Affairs Ministry. We were speaking to some diplomats earlier, and they were talking about the diplomatic options that now exist. How do we see diplomacy also as a way forward? Although the incident is of a military face-off, what possibilities exist on the diplomatic front?
Well, diplomatically, the idea would be to try and de-escalate the situation, and see to it that the process of disengagement that's going on should not get affected, and put in place a mechanism that even if troops come face to face and there's an eyeball to eyeball situation, it does not escalate to the level it has right now. Of course, India would be clearly expressing its displeasure to the Chinese side that such an incident did take place. But in the long term, you see, de-escalation has to take place because the border, marking out the border is a long-drawn process, and there is a mechanism in place for it. The SR level talks, 22 rounds of talks have already happened. So I think what on the diplomatic front, one, the Indian side would have expressed extreme displeasure to the Chinese side, but beyond that, there is not much that diplomacy can do, because it would only snowball into a blame game where the Chinese could start accusing the Indian Army could start accusing the PLA of aggression, in the end it comes out to be a zero-sum game. What the idea would be that how to see that such incidents are avoided, because the border defining, as I said, is a long-drawn process, but till that happens, the sanctity of the LAC is maintained, and a mechanism is strengthened wherein such incidents do not take place or are not repeated, because the LAC has been, despite various face-offs, despite various standoffs as serious as Doklam, lasting up to more than 70 days, have always been resolved without a shot being fired. So it is in interest of neither country to escalate the situation. Both are fighting a pandemic, both are rising economies of Asia and engines of growth of the world, and both understand that, in the given present circumstances, the two sides, that it's a zero-sum game to sort of get into, to let such standoffs escalate into much larger conflicts. So I think they would want to return to the position that has always been stated, that let differences not become disputes, despite tempers running high at the moment.
Right, Amrit, you're right when you say that no side stands to benefit if there is escalation. If you were to look at the possible motivation for the incident that has taken place, Amrit, in the course of our discussion, what has come up is the manner in which India has also increased border infrastructure on its own side. That could be a possible reason that irks the Chinese military, even though India is acting on its own side of the border. To what extent do you see that as a possible reason, and what developments have taken place in that context in the recent times?
Srindu, what we need to understand here is clearly that the border is contested. The border is disputed. The Chinese do not abide by the McMahon line. The Indians say, all right, we can talk about it. There is a process in place. Till the time there is something called as the LAC, the line of actual control. Given the geographical conditions, given historical reasons, that LAC at many places is not clearly demarked, there are differences of perceptions. People, either side thinks that the LAC begins here. So it does lead to standoffs where armies come eyeball to eyeball. Now, building of infrastructure, securing their part of or what they perceive, either side perceives as their territory, is what happens, because that is what militaries are supposed to do, protect the boundaries of their country. Now, the building of that bridge and a motorable road, which is of strategic importance to India, is what irked the Chinese in the first place. Now, the Chinese escalated this on other points so that it could be a bargaining chip for them, that even if you withdraw from one part, you can negotiate for the other part. Now, this is what armies do engage in, and it's a tactical move. But it does assume strategic dimensions, as it has now in this particular case. We've seen small, face-offs happen where the soldiers of either side try and block each other physically and things like that, but then they retreat. The situation is diffused once the local level commanders talk, and there's a proper mechanism, existing mechanism for that. SOPs are followed, and both sides sort of retreat after a brief eyeball to eyeball contact if it so develops. And that's a very common occurrence where patrolling parties go, do their banner drills, do area dominance, domination and come back. This happens on both sides. But in this particular case, as the Chinese got irked, now the Indians say that, it is, from the Indian military standpoint, it is understandable that securing their strategic assets is, and in building infrastructure to that effect is something that the Indian Army has to do. I mean, the Indian Army, that's what they're paid for. That's what they're meant to do. That's why they're sitting at the borders. The PLA took exception to that. The PLA increased its aggressiveness in certain aggression in certain areas, and that's why the situation developed into that. This has lasted for about 5 weeks, but at the level at which talks were going on, right up to the Corps Commander level, which is a rare occurrence, one assumes that it would not de-escalate to this point. Now, this is really, really worrisome that it has gone here. I think what now both militaries and the diplomats would be doing is to see that it does not further escalate into a larger conflict, that it can be contained at the level where it is right now.
Right, Amrit, we'll talk about the possibilities of resolution. Stay with us. Sudhir is joining us with some more information. Sudhir, अभी रक्षा मंत्री की मुलाकात हुई प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी से, जहां उन्होंने अपडेट किया जो इंसिडेंट हुआ है लद्दाख में चाइनीज और इंडियन फोर्सेस के बीच। क्या जानकारी है आपके पास अभी?
बिल्कुल शिवेंदु, देखिए हमें जो जानकारी मिली है उसमें रक्षा मंत्री राजनाथ सिंह हैं, उन्होंने आज प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को जो LAC पे जो कल की घटना है, जिस तरह से जो फेस ऑफ हुआ है और जो पूरी घटना है उस तरीके से, उसके बारे में पूरी जानकारी जो है प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को दी है। ये जानकारी अभी तक हमारे पास आ रही है। और इससे पहले शिवेंदु रक्षा मंत्री ने जो विदेश मंत्री हैं एस जयशंकर, CDS जनरल बिपिन रावत है और तीनों सेनाओं के जो चीफ हैं, उनके साथ भी एक रिव्यू मीटिंग की थी कि अक्रॉस द LAC पर जो रिव्यू मीटिंग है, हालात की किस तरह के हालात हैं, किस तरह की जो चीजें रही हैं, उसके मद्देनजर एक रिव्यू मीटिंग भी की थी। शुभेंदु
जी, सुधीर, इस माहौल में कितना महत्वपूर्ण ये भी हो जाता है कि जो पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप है दोनों देशों की, जिन्होंने एक तरीके से लीड किया था डी-एस्केलेशन टॉक्स और पीसफुल कोऑर्डिनेशन को, कितना जरूरी होगा पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप को कि वो ये जो डिस्प्यूट और ये जो वायलेंट एक फेस ऑफ हुआ है, यहाँ से मैटर एस्केलेट ना हो?
बिल्कुल शुभेंदु, देखिए दोनों तरफ की लीडरशिप की तरफ से कोशिश ये जरूर रहेगी साफ तौर पर। हालांकि शुभेंदु, यहाँ ये भी एक बात देखने वाली है कि जो दोनों देश हैं, दोनों के विदेश मंत्रालय की तरफ से लगातार ये बयान रहे हैं कि दोनों देश जो है वो इस तरह की घटनाओं को और आगे बढ़ने देना नहीं चाहते हैं। लगातार ये स्टेटमेंट आते रहे हैं कि बातचीत के जरिए दोनों इस मुद्दे को जो LAC पर जो फेस ऑफ है उसको सुलझा लिया जाएगा। ऐसी लगातार बिल्कुल ये खबरें आ रही थी, लगातार इस तरह से स्टेटमेंट दोनों की तरफ से आ रहे थे। लेकिन इस दौरान जिस तरह का ये वायलेंट फेस ऑफ कल रात को हुआ है और उसने जिस तरीके से एक जो आर्मी ऑफिसर हैं और 2 जवान हैं उनकी मौत हुई है, ये काफी गंभीर चिंता का विषय है। हर तौर पर ये एक PLA का जो वाले एग्रेसिवनेस है उसको दर्शाता है। हालांकि दोनों की तरफ लीडरशिप की तरफ से साफ तौर पर जिस तरीके से यहाँ शुभेंदु हम बात करें कि जो टॉप लीडरशिप है, दोनों ने वुहान इनफॉर्मल समिट है और मामल्लपुरम इनफॉर्मल समिट है, उसमें खास तौर पर एक आपस में एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग डेवलप की थी और दोनों तरफ की जो सेनाएं थी उनको एक डायरेक्टिव दिया गया था कि एक फर्दर प्रोसेस के जरिए अगर कोई भी दोनों के अंदर मतभेद पैदा होता है, LAC के दौरान अगर पेट्रोलिंग के दौरान किसी तरह की कोई मतभेद पैदा होते तो एक प्रॉपर प्रोसेस के द्वारा दोनों जो देश हैं, दोनों देशों की जो सेनाएं हैं वो बैठेंगी और उस मुद्दे का हल करेंगी। और वैसा ही हुआ जब करीब 5 हफ्ते से ज्यादा, करीब 1 महीने की अगर हम बात करें, जिस तरह से ये तनाव दोनों सेनाओं के बीच था, तो उसके बाद से कोर कमांडर लेवल की बातचीत की शुरुआत हुई। अपने आप में काफी अहम था, दोनों जो कोर कमांडर थे वो आपस में मिले, बातचीत को कैसे आगे और लेकर जाया जाए उस पर बातचीत हुई और खास तौर पर कि LAC पर डी-एस्केलेशन कैसे होगा, कैसे आप दोनों सेनाएं एक पीछे हटेंगी, उसको लेकर भी बातचीत लगातार जारी रही। और शुभेंदु, जो सेना की तरफ से जो जानकारी दी गई उसमें ये भी कहा गया कि उसके बाद से भी पहले डिविजनल कमांडर लेवल पे, उसके बाद से ब्रिगेडियर और कमांडिंग ऑफिसर के लेवल पे भी बातचीत हो रही थी। कल भी जो ब्रिगेड लेवल पे बातचीत हुई थी और बातचीत लगातार ये हो रही थी कि किस तरीके से दोनों सेनाएं आप पीछे
जी।
हटेंगी, लगातार बातचीत का माहौल चल रहा था, लेकिन उस दौरान ये घटना अपने आप में काफी गंभीर मामला बनता है।
जी सुधीर, प्रधानमंत्री को ब्रीफ करने से पहले रक्षा मंत्री ने एक मुलाकात जो सेना के जो चीफ ऑफ डिफेंस स्टाफ हैं, 3 सर्विस चीफ हैं, एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स मिनिस्टर के प्रेजेंस में करी। उस मीटिंग से क्या अपडेट है हमारे पास?
बिल्कुल शुभेंदु, उससे पहले ही रक्षा मंत्री ने जो ईस्टर्न लद्दाख में जो घटना हुई है उसके बारे में पूरी जानकारी ली, उसका रिव्यू लिया कि किस तरह की घटनाएं रही, क्या ये मामला था, पूरी जानकारी इस घटना के बारे में ली, पूरी जो सिचुएशन है उसको रिव्यू किया गया कि आखिर LAC पे आखिर किस तरीके के हालात हैं। इस बैठक की अगर हम बात करें तो इस बैठक में विदेश मंत्री एस जयशंकर मौजूद थे, सीडीएस जनरल विपिन रावत थे और जो तीनों सेनाओं के जो सेना प्रमुख थे वो मौजूद थे। तो जाहिर तौर पर इसमें पूरी सिचुएशन जो है उसको असेस किया गया और जो पूरी कंडीशन है LAC पर उसको रिव्यू किया गया और उसके बाद से जो रक्षा मंत्री राजनाथ सिंह उन्होंने प्रधानमंत्री को भी जो पूरी घटना है LAC पर उसके बारे में जानकारी दी है।
जी सुधीर, धन्यवाद आपका इन सभी अपडेट्स के साथ हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। माय कॉलीग अमृत पाल सिंह continues to be with us on the phone line. Amrit, as we speak, while Prime Minister Narendra Modi is being briefed by Defence Minister on the violent incident that has taken place at the LAC, what is the update from the ground? What do we know about the talks and de-escalation process that was on between the two security forces at the LAC?
What we know is, Shubhendu, that the military commanders are talking, which includes sectoral commanders and the div commanders. They are right now in discussions. They have been since morning because this incident happened late last night. The idea is that both these battalions, which are said to have, which came off in a face-off, they have been pulled back, and the new battalion has been moved up. The rear battalions have been moved up. The talks are happening essentially about how did things come to such a pass, or what happened, what really happened, because there are different perceptions of what happened. The Chinese have a different story, the Indians have a different story. So to understand what really happened and how the idea behind it is that how such situations do not, escalate further, because right now you have to understand that tempers do run high. If such a situation happens, the troop morale, to keep the troop morale up, their militaries, the troops on the ground do get charged up. And so basically a stock taking, and also to see that what steps can be taken to de-escalate, and this does not spread into a larger conflict in other sectors where armies are still face to face, because there are various points right from Demchok to Galwan to right up to Daulat Beg Oldi, where in the Chushul sector as well, where there are troops in the Pangong TSO, where troops are sitting where they are sitting and have not retreated back. It's a part of the de-escalation process which had just begun. So how did things go wrong? That sort of stock taking is taking place, and also preventive measures that this does not spread to other areas and conflict does not assume larger proportions than it already has done.
Thanks Amrit. Thanks very much for joining us with those inputs. And let's now again turn to our defense correspondent Nandita Dagar, who's joining us on phone line. Nandita, talking about de-escalation from a tense situation, which is crucial. What comes to our memory immediately is the Doklam crisis, where India also stood its ground very firmly. In brief, tell us what are the key learnings, Nandita, for India, also for China, from that incident in the present situation?
Well, the key learning, Shubhendu, was that India must stand its ground, and at no point of time must India even cede an inch of Indian territory to anybody, because when the Chinese have a habit of actually what General Vipin Rawat, who was the then army chief and who is now the CDS, he used a phrase for China called salami slicing. Or what they do is they slowly creep forward and then they stake claim to that.
Also, Nandita, talking about the de-escalation talks that take place, give us a picture of what is the manner in which it takes place, because there is also a version that this may have been a local incident, tempers run high in the security forces of both sides, and therefore this incident may have happened. That's one version. But help us understand, what is the reality on the ground like?
Yes, that could have been that could be one version. What I am told is that last night's talks, after yesterday evening's talks, which ended around 4 to 5 p.m., where our colonel was talking to their colonel, our major general was talking to their major general. What happened was that this was decided upon and this was agreed upon with the PLA that they would withdraw from the Galwan Heights. Now, at one of these places, I'm not sure which one, and I'm not aware whether it was Patrol Point 14, 15 or 17 Alpha. At one of these places, the troops on the ground which had dug themselves in at these heights, they refused to even obey the mandate of the agreement. They refused to withdraw, and that's when the Indian soldiers, probably their tempers, probably the situation got explosive when tempers arose. I do not know what happened after that. But the fact is that the Chinese troops refused to vacate the place, even though their seniors had decided, their superiors or their commanding officers had decided that they have to vacate this place. So, was this done by design? Was this done by accident, or it happened very spontaneously? That is something that is a question. You know, it's difficult to read the Chinese tea leaves, and it's very difficult to read the Chinese mind. Also, how the de-escalation is going to happen. 4 rounds of military to military talks have already happened post this situation developed in Galwan as well as in Tangong So. Now, the roadmap was already set that Galwan would be resolved by a matter of 3 to 4 meetings between battalion commanders, division.
Right. All right, Nandita, thanks very much for joining us with those inputs. So the latest in the violent face-off that took place between India and the Chinese forces in Ladakh region, in which the reports say 3 of Indian soldiers have been martyred. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, in fact, has a short while ago briefed Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the situation. Earlier, he also held meetings with the service chiefs and took stock of the situation. Meanwhile, another big development today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is holding